Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a shared user. Adding a shared user is one of the most important features in Vidadata. It is where you give secure access to your life data to your loved ones, whether it be a spouse, a parent, a child. So let's look at how to do this in the app. Once you're logged into the app, you'll land on the home screen, also known as the My Assets screen. Next, you'll press the people icon in the bottom bar, which will bring you to the shared user screen. After that, in the top left corner, press the add button. You'll now be asked to fill in the shared user's details. Once you've completed this form, you'll get down to this Share All Assets radio button. What this button does is it allows you to either share all of your data, some of your data, or none of your data while you're still alive. Let me explain each one. So share all. If you press this radio button, all of your assets will be viewable by this shared user that you're currently adding. But let's say you just wanted to share some assets with this user. What you do is leave this radio button off and press save. Now you can go back to your My Assets screen and add that shared user to each individual asset that you would like to share with them. Lastly, you have the option to not share any of your details with your shared user while you're still alive. In this scenario, you would leave this radio button off and not give any access to individual assets. You would just simply add them as a shared user, leaving the Share All Assets radio button off, and take no other action. Your shared user would still see all of your asset names, but each asset would have a lock icon next to them, preventing the shared user from seeing the details. The only way for them to get access to this info is by submitting a claim for your assets and providing a valid death certificate through the app, which we'll cover in another video. So those are the three sharing options, but let me show you what it looks like to share one asset with a shared user. So I'll go to the My Assets screen, and let's say I just wanted to give access to this Capital One savings account. So I would hit the drop down arrow, I would press edit, I would scroll to the bottom here, and there's a section that says give access rights. I would hit that drop down arrow, and I see that I have a shared user here, and I want to share this asset with this particular user. So I select their name, I press submit, and then I hit save. Now this user has access to this one shared asset. So what does that look like to the shared user? Well, let me show you. If I go to the More menu button, which is the far right button in the bottom bar, there's an option here that says View Assets Shared with You. So this particular person shared their assets with me. If I press View Assets, I am now looking at all of their assets that they shared with me. But I notice that there are two locked icons, one for TD Bank Savings and one for Facebook. That means I do not have access to these two assets. If I try to access them, I get an error message that I don't have permission. But there are two other assets, TD Bank Checking and Liberty Mutual, that I do have access to, which I could simply drop down and see the details of both of those assets. And if I didn't have any access to these assets, there would be locked icons for all four of these assets. So that's how you add a shared user, and that's how you share specific details of your assets with shared users.